All right, what's going on everyone? It's Brendan from the Achievement Apex. It's been a while since I've done a full video like this, but I'm back. And yesterday I had a really good conversation with Henry from Capo, and my barbells, they're going to be in Capo State, and we're going to look at getting them international. So hopefully that comes to fruition. So in this video, you're going to see me working on the barbells for Capo States, and also I'll put some clips of my training in there as well to kind of split it up and keep it more entertaining, as well as I'll probably include like any other cool stuff that I'm working on. So at the moment it's I don't know what day it is or the date, but I've got to go to the gym right now. I've got to hit some squats, so I'll be doing that using the Pinnacle Series squat bar, of course. Let's go to the gym. Apparently someone wants to come to the gym as well. Do you want to come to the gym, Tilly? Too bad. Come on, not for Tilly. Come on. Fucking roadworks! I've made it to the gym, and today I've got comp squats. I'm gonna be working up to a set of 4 at 221 kilos. So I'll probably just do a little time lapse of my warming up, and then I'll show the final set. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, so that was my last warm up. That was 160 for 4 reps. My first set is gonna be at 190. I'll chuck the wraps on. That'll be for 4 reps. Then I'll do 200 and then 221 for my top set. 160 felt pretty good. I'm happy with that. So I'll go to 190 now, and yeah, we'll see how it moves. Shit, that was supposed to be 4 reps. I f***ed up. That was 190. I really wasn't too happy with how it moved, but I'm kind of always feeling after my first set. Usually they kind of get better as I go. So next up I've got 200 and I'll get 4 reps instead of 3. And I also felt like I was going just a tad too deep on the 190, making it harder than it needed to be. So for this one, I'll just try get it, you know, like, I don't know, like a centimeter or 2 higher, just to get a bit more confidence. And like I said, you don't need to go deeper than you need to go. So yeah, let's see how 200 goes. Okay, that was 200 kilos, and I'm really happy with it. I haven't actually watched it back yet, but I know that it felt significantly easier than 190 kilos, which is good because it's 10 kilos heavier. So now I'll have a little rest, then I'll bump it up to 221 kilos for my top set. Squats have been feeling terrible for me lately, but after that 200, I'm actually feeling pretty good. So let's see how it goes, because I'd love to be able to return to my old squat strength for Capo States, which is quite a big ask, but it's possible. So yeah, let's go and do 221 kilos. that was my 221 kilos. Like it felt pretty difficult and heavy, but I'm actually happy with how it moved. I watched it back. Like I think it's moving easier than it was 2 weeks ago and also last week. It's also 1 kilo heavier. Speaking of which, a lot of you are probably thinking, why the f are you doing 221? Why are you adding 1 kilo in training? It doesn't matter. So the reason I'm adding 1 kilo is because in my program, which I make myself, so I have a spreadsheet that I made, and in it has a calculator with a formula that I came up for determining my 1 rep max. The formula takes into account the weight lifted and the RPE. And the reason I'm using a custom formula and not an already existing one is because for me personally, my sort of strength curve doesn't seem to align with a lot of 1 rep max calculators. So I made my own. Now, what I want to do every week is vary the weight, vary the reps, and vary the RPE so that I'm always getting a novel stimulus whilst also increasing my 1 rep max every single week. So if I had only done 220 for 4 reps today, my 1 rep max either wouldn't have improved or it would have only improved by like half a kilo. And half a kilo is not enough when I'm coming back. I've been stronger than this before. I should be progressing faster because of muscle memory and that kind of thing. So by doing 221, my 1 rep max has increased by about like 3.5 or 4 kilos since last week. And so that's one of, it's what I consider my edge against other athletes. They're not using 1 kilo, so I am, so that gives me an advantage and I can progress faster than them. So that's where that comes from. So I don't know what that makes my 1 rep max, but I think it's around 250. Anyway, I'm happy with how it moved. And based on this, after I've had a better look at the footage, I'll determine how much I'm going to do next week and for how many reps and at what RPE. So before I get on to accessories, the stuff I was sniffing, this is our new product. It's not out yet. It's called Liquid Hype. Inside this is liquid ammonia. It's fucking stronger than any smelling salt ever, and it's way longer lasting. How many times have you bought a smelling salt and it's fucking good, but then a week later or a month later, it's fucking dead? The liquid doesn't fucking run out. It might get weaker over the course of several months and even a year, right? That's fucking long lasting. Not to mention, this canister is the best. You don't have to fuck around with the lid. It's press, sniff, and it's done. Can you see that? Press, sniff, it's done. Doesn't spill, it seals. I can smell that there, I gotta get out of there. So the aluminium to make the canisters has arrived, so I've got heaps of that, and maybe in this video you'll be able to see me machining another prototype, because that's the first prototype and it has an issue where it's actually not delivering the full blast of the ammonia, because as you push the button down, you're actually stopping the flow. So it's that strong and it's not even that good at delivering yet. So the new one, I'll fix that issue with the delivery. It's gonna blow my fucking head off. And then if that goes well and it lasts, at least several months in testing, then it will be live on the website. And when it launches, I'll do a nice juicy discount for you guys. So that's Liquid Hype. And of course, I'm already using all of our Pinnacle Series bars in the lifts themselves. So that's enough shameless promotion. Let's get onto the accessories and then some machining. It is now almost 9 p.m. and I'm getting ready to start work for tonight. I'll be machining a squat bar shaft, I think. I actually need to double check, but it's some bar shaft. Might be a bit dark here. Turning on machine power. Don't know if you can see that. Okay, so now we got power. I'll double check what's on the agenda and then we'll get to work. I've got a squat bar and a power bar to do. So I'll do a power bar tonight. Squat bar will be tomorrow. Let's get to machining. One cool thing about this bar that I'm making is it's going to be the first actual bar that has the new sleeve mechanism in it. So that's going to be cool. So this should be 24.9. This one doesn't need to be absolutely precise because it's for a thrust bearing and it needs to go on with no issues. And, that's literally perfect because it's got to spin with no issues. If it's too tight, it won't spin and that's going to cause issues. Okay, now this should be 19.75 approximately. Doesn't need to be precise. At 0.76, okay. Okay, awesome. Okay, so that's the main mechanism done. Now I need to machine this part right here to be 29.75, which will be 250 microns of slack for the bushings. So this should be about 29.75, doesn't need to be absolutely precise. That's 3 microns off, so that's pretty good. Now we just need to drill a little center hole at the end. That hole that I just drilled leaves a nice tapered hole in there which goes on a live center, which helps keep the bar steady while I'm machining the rest of the shaft. And you can see the live center here. So I take out the center drill and then the live center goes in. So this will line up perfectly with that hole and keep the bar all steady. Okay, so what I'm putting on now is a follow steady rest, and this is going to also keep the bar steady while I'm machining to make sure there's no chatter or anything like that, which is going to ruin any dimensional tolerance or surface finish. Although with that said, it's still a long, slender shaft, and it's pretty much at the speed that I need to work. It's pretty much unavoidable to get just a little bit of chatter. So what I do is, as you might have seen in one of my shorts or something on Instagram, is I get it like pretty much 95% of the way there as fast as I can on the machine. Then I'll get an air belt sander. Then I'll dial it in with the micrometers and make sure it's got a pristine surface finish. So this should measure 29.25 approximately. That's 29.28, which is just fine. And so that's going to serve as a reference for the cut for the rest of the shaft. Once I do that cut, then I'll be ready to use the belt sander and actually get it to the final diameter and surface finish. You would have seen I just did one pass and then a second pass, which was slower. And the reason I did that is because the shaft is so long and slender, what happens with this steady rest is that there's here close to the chuck, this shaft has a lot more force pushing back on the steady rest, which is pushing forward a little bit. Over here, it's closer to the cutting tip. Over here, it's further away because there's more, there's more force pushing back against the steady rest. So it turns a little bit of a taper. So doing that second pass, because there's already a taper, that actually, as the steady rest comes along, pushes the shaft closer to the cutting tip here, which means that that second pass gives me a perfect reference of where I need to use a belt sander so that I can land absolutely perfect, flat, no taper, beautiful shaft once I'm finished with the belt sander. So that's why I did that. Now we can measure where we are after that first pass. So we're at 2.9 here. That's 29.29, 29.295, 29.31. So that is extremely good. So I'll do one more pass with the red belt because the tolerance that I have for a power bar shaft, which needs to be 29 millimeters, is 250 microns, which means 29.25 at the absolute maximum. And I actually aim to achieve as close to that as possible because, right, if the upper and lower bounds are 28.75 and 29.25, obviously if I'm pushing it up to that higher end, you're going to get a stiffer bar. So always I want to push the boundaries as much as possible whilst giving you the best product. So, if I made these 29 on the dot, the bar would just be less stiff. So we push the boundaries on what's actually accepted so that you're getting the stiffest bar, the best bar possible, so that you can lift the most weight possible. Okay, so as you can see now, the bar is very beautiful, very shiny. Now we got to check the tolerance. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that the bar has got quite a bit of heat in it now from the belt sander, and that's going to expand it, make it fatter by about 30 microns. So we have to subtract 30 microns from the result that shows on the micrometer. So here we have 29.243. So that's going to land at about 2.1 to 2.2. 29.256. So that's going to be about 0.22 or 2.3. 0.265. So that's going to land at about 2.3 or 2.4. So there is a very, very, very slight taper here. It is literally only 20 or 30 microns, which is an exceptionally small amount. Just for reference, a human hair is about 75 microns. So the difference in thickness between here and here is about half a human hair, or even less actually. So it's extremely like flat, consistent. And it's all within spec because once that heat comes out, it's going to shrink down to around about, an average of that is about 29.23, 29.235. So right at the upper end of what's allowed, giving you a stiffer bar, bigger lifts, all the goodness. And the race for the pushing is sitting at 29.77 with quite a bit of heat in it, so that's going to land at about 0.75 once it's cooled down. So we've got that precise for the bushing. We've got the other one up this end precise for the bushing. The rest of the shaft does not need to be precise because there's no bushing in the middle here. So precision where we need it. Beautiful. Okay, now it's time to knurl this side of the bar. That's the main thread for the ridge lock knurling done. Now I can swap to the knurling tool, like so, and actually put the knurl on there. Okay, there you have it. There's some ridge lock knurling on a power bar. All right, so that's all I'm going to be doing for tonight because it's now 11 p.m. and I got to get up fairly early in the morning. So in the morning, I'll get up, I'll finish this bar, then I'll go to the gym, and tomorrow it's going to be squat and bench. So I'll see you there.